Good morning, Angela here at Sew Bright Alpine Quilting. Thanks for joining us for GICS12, and hello to everyone in Bendigo if you can see us as well. Today we're going to talk about our showcase products, which today is the template and ruler demonstration, and we're going to show you some of our favourite templates and rulers and some of the projects that go with them. So to start off with, I'm going to show you this one over here, which is the inner spin. We've got lots of different ones up on the board here. And we have another one here. So this little project's been designed by Lynn Wilson from Bowral in New South Wales, and it's a great little project for the templates, which are these two templates here, which go together to make this lovely little wedge shape, which is very versatile. So we're going to show you how we cut out with that. So we're going to cut a couple of strips with our ruler. This is a handy ruler, 8" by 14 inches. Another one of our favourites. So we've got our strips, and we're just going to put our template down and cut out some wedges. So we line that up, slice on both sides, and then we can move that along and cut out our wedges. So we need 4 of this size. And we'll have 4 of the coordinating one as well. So once we have our 4 wedges, we can pop those on our design mat here, and we can have a look at see what it looks going to look like before we cut it out. So then we have our other shape, which is this little sort of a half hexagon shape, which we're going to cut out as well. Looks like I cut that one a little bit big, but that's okay, we're going to fix that. So we're going to cut 4 of those as well. My fingers aren't getting in the way. Give us a shout out, let us know that you're watching and where you're from. I'd love to know where you're from. Okay, so then this one goes in here as well. And then our other coordinating fabric is this little print here from Free Spirit, and we're going to cut some wedges out of that one as well. Good morning, Evelyn. I wonder how much rain you had. How much rain did we have, Steve? About 30 mils? It's nice to see the rain. Okay, so we've got our...
wet and soggy in the Gold Coast.
Wet and soggy in the Gold Coast. That's no good. That's not usually the Gold Coast way. So we have these
Michelle
ones.
in Townsville.
Michelle in Townsville. Hello. Hopefully we'll get there next year. And okay. So once we've got our shapes all cut out, we've got 2 little squares that we cut out for the corners. And so there's our little block laid out. And so we would take those to the sewing machine and we would sew them together. We would sew these little wedges together to get our to get these shapes here. Sew all our 4 wedges together, and then we sew the corners on. So it's a really quick, easy, fast block.
Evelyn's jobs are flooded out.
Oh no. That's no good.
Sharon Butfield from Windy Adelaide.
Hello Sharon in Windy Adelaide. So this is the pattern. That's not too glary, is it? A bit glary. So it's a good fat quarter one. You can cut it out from fat quarters or fat eighths. I'm using fat quarters today. And just this little bundle here. You can see the 4 that I've made. So here's another one. So we're well underway to making a really nice quilt with that one. So it's a good fat quarter one, or as said, fat eighths. So here's the template set. So the template set's 22 and the pattern is 15 for those. So you'll find them in the Great International Craft Show on our website. So, and there's our little bundle that we put together. It's a mixed bundle and I'll be adding to it as we go along. But I will pop that one up as a starter bundle on the website. Okay, what's next? Next we will show you the One Fabric Kaleidoscope, I think. I mean, you may have seen it before, but it is a really handy one to have. I'll just put that one down there. So we are making our One Fabric Kaleidoscope from the Florographics 5 fabric from GICS12. And it's going to look spectacular. So we have one block here and the other block is on the board with the other colourway. If you've not seen it before, it is a very easy way to make a kaleidoscope quilt. The hard thing is to line up all your fabric. So hopefully it's still lined up nicely. So you have your border fabric. And you would cut your border fabric into 8 strips. So we have 8 strips of our border fabric, all the same height, and we stack them directly on top of each other. And we take our kaleidoscope rulers. So I like to use the Kaleido ruler from Marty Michelle because it's 2 rulers in one. So we use this part of the ruler. We use this part of the ruler with the 45-degree angle on it to cut our blocks. And then we use this part of the ruler with the 90-degree angle on it to cut our little cornerstone blocks. So it's really simple. Once you see it, you'll go, oh yeah, that's really simple. So we pop the ruler down on the fabric. And as I said, I hope I've lined it up, but never mind. That just creates a bit of variation. And make sure you've got a new blade because you're going to be cutting through 8 fabrics at once. So just a matter of turning it along, and you might want a fussy cut so you can have a little look and see where the pattern's going to lie. So I'm just going to slide along a little bit for this one. Come back through, sorry to cut backwards on you. Just so that we get a bit of movement. So I'll grab my little design board again. Where should I put that? And we'll show you how it turns out. So you can see the design coming to life. And so we've got 8 pieces here. And once they're all joined together, you'll get a similar, you might have to come this way, Steve, because I can't lift it up. You'll get a similar looking one to the block that I showed you before. So once they're all joined together in pairs, and then we join the pairs together for halves and halves together, and then you join your cornerstones on the side. So keep going and you'll end up with a lovely quilt. We also have another version that we made a while ago in the One Fabric Kaleidoscope in the Australian Garden twist fabric, which turned out really well as well. So you can see the kits for the Florographics 5 version on the website. We also have the One Fabric Kaleidoscope available as a kit for the Haven fabric, which I showed you last time we were online, but you'll find them all on the website anyway. So that's the One Fabric Kaleidoscope. Next up we have a pleated log cabin block that we're working on, which is a 3-dimensional one. I might just grab the one off of here. So you see this 3-dimensional block, so it's a log cabin and it's made with a jelly roll. So in this case we've used the jelly roll from Free Spirit. It's a Cafe Facet Collective Classics jelly roll. Nice bright colours. And this pattern is also from Lynn Wilson. And as I said, it's a good jelly roll one. And so you just take your jelly roll and work out which strips are going to go where, and then you start piecing. So it starts off with a little square in the centre with a bit of wadding on it, and we sew our strips on, and we use our little ruler. We can use a 6x1 ruler, or Lynn does have a special pleated log cabin ruler with the 1.5 inches already marked on it. And we use the ruler as a guide as to how much we're going to turn back and press for our little log strips. And you can see as you go, you're just pressing around, sewing around, and just pressing the strips over to create the folds. And in the end you get this beautiful block, and then we can join them all together and have a lovely quilt. This one does actually require, as you can see, you stitch it onto a little muslin backing piece. So that's one we hadn't done before. Now we are going to go to Lucy. So Lucy is the quilt that you can see behind me. And this one starts off with a layer cake with a 10-inch square. So we have the 10-inch squares of Airflow from Moda with this one. And the 10-inch squares, I'll just grab this one's off here so you can see. So it's another one that's a little bit, oh, how did they do that? And, oh, where are they going? I've just got some others here that I've started that I can show you, that we've started to make in this version here. So we have these nice bright fabrics, and so you end up with a interchangeable block, which is really handy. So from your square you would cut a square and 2 coordinating strips, which you would sew onto the sides. Here so you can see. And then once you've done that, you would get your square and you would cut it in half. So you slice it, so this one, and then you cut a little strip out and then you rearrange it. So I'll start with this one here so that you can see. So that's our, so we start with these and we make it into this block, and then we slice a little piece in the middle here and we take that one out and we swap it with the other side of the pair. So we piece one with the print and one with a plain, and then we piece one with a plain and one with a print. And when we swap them around and piece them back together, we get this, which would be one of this one. So this shape here, and then we trim it down to a regular size. I think they're all trimmed. So in the pattern, which is called Lucy from GE Designs, you can make 6 different size quilts from crib up to king, and you can have as little as 12 squares of your pattern. The throw size, which uses 2 of these ones, is 24 squares, or a lap is 40. So you would still get a lap size quilt out of 2 of the junior layer cakes. So there's 20 fabrics in each of those. Or if you've got a 40 piece layer cake as well, that would work. And then you would just need to cut your 40 squares of your opposite fabric from something lovely. So this one here was a Ruby Star fabric called Speckle. So we've got kits on the website for that one as well. They are $226.48, or a pattern on its own is $24.50. Now the ruler that we use for that one, seeing we're talking about rulers, is the 10-inch square. In the pattern, they use the Creative Grids one that has the slots in it, but I don't have that one. So I had the 10-inch ruler, so I just used the 10-inch ruler. And that works really well. So we have the Matilda's own ones of those. How are we going for time, Steve? Okay. And one last one before we head off today. So you've seen me previously talk about the rulers from So Kind of Wonderful. So we have the QCR Mini. We've got lots of demonstrations on our YouTube page of the QCR Mini, and also the Quick Curve ruler, the larger version of that. We've got lots of new patterns that have just arrived, and so we're doing a special for this weekend. Anyone that grabs a Quick Curve ruler or a Mini Quick Curve ruler, or even the Wonder Curve ruler, which is the new one, will get a free pattern. We'll chuck a free pattern in for those. I'm going to show you quickly the Wonder Curve ruler, which is the new ruler from So Kind of Wonderful, which we're still waiting for the sampler quilts to come. Oops, where's the ruler? This one. So similar curve to the other two, but this one is new, has new markings on it, which makes it easier to cut out, and also to scale blocks up and down. So they'll be releasing lots of different patterns with this one. The free pattern that you get with the ruler is for this cute little flutterby, they're calling it. This little butterfly block. And so it's a similar method for cutting out as we've had before. We can stack some squares. I'll just do 2 to show you. And we put the ruler down on the blue one, I think it was. Yeah. Put the ruler down over the fabric for this one, on lining up on the blue line. Take our cutter, and we're using the True Cut cutter today for this one, and we just cut the curve. And so then that cuts our curve, which is the first part of the block. And then we would need to cut some squares of the plain fabric, and we will piece them together. Now you've probably seen me do it, but I won't be doing it today. So when you piece with the Quick Curve ruler, you know you hold one fabric up in the air and the other one just slides in underneath when you're piecing. Just quickly show you a square. So for the background squares, we are cutting 5 3/4 inches for our background square. And then we cut that one in half diagonally, and then we can pop those on top of each other. Trim them off at 5 1/2. and then we pop our curve, we pop our curve into the ruler and we cut out our curve, and so that gives us the other side of the square. So we would take those to the sewing machine, right sides together, pop them under the sewing machine and sew those curves. And then we can come back and cut off the other side and pop another background square on there. Just keep going and going and going. But we'll have a bigger demonstration just on that one on our YouTube page shortly as I continue to make this one. This afternoon we'll be coming back and talking about our favourite embroidery supplies, and I will also share with you our new details of our new stitch along, which will be starting in January using this gorgeous panel from French General and some lovely Valdani threads. So we'll give you some more details about that this afternoon. In the meantime, have a browse in the shopping haul, and we'll also have a class live today at 2 p.m. in the classroom number 1, I think it is from memory, and we'll be showing you how to make a scrunchie. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.